Now listen, so now let's talk about part 2 to the video I did yesterday about the more darker negative traits of the zodiac signs. And now let me give you a quick rundown on why I'm doing this, right? Because so now, if you watch the first video, you would understand that everybody has a birth chart in society. The zodiac signs ain't shit to play with. The way modern tropical pop astrology is taught, it sounds like a lot of bullshit a lot of times, right? Because it sounds like character traits that can be basically placed amongst anybody, right? But it's a reason for that shit, right? Because you got to remember, everybody got a birth chart, right? Humans are subject to these 12 areas of life. So of course there are going to be some similarities that seem like they can apply to everybody. You see what I'm saying? See, you got to battle people with really wits and real intellect, right? Because another person be like, well, I don't know what the hell to say. Well, you need to find out what your ass need to say, because they're going to be like, well, this can be applied to anybody. Yeah, that's true. It can be applied to anybody. But the thing about it is everybody doesn't do the same exact things, right? As a matter of fact, even people that do the same things do them at different frequencies and different levels, right? One may be doing, one person anger may be at a 10. Another person anger may be at a 3, right? But they both get angry, right? But the thing about it is, what's different? Who would you rather deal with, the 10 or the 3? You see what I'm saying? So it's like everything is nuanced, right? To fit you as a personal individual. Humans in general, we're all ran by the same 12 signs, right? That's why you are comprised of all 12 same signs. So of course you are going to display similar traits. Where our whole species is being lorded and ruled over by these planetary and stellar energies, real shit. But the more negative aspects, right? I want people to understand, it's so much bad shit going on out here. Because now listen, everything I talk about, you'll be able to see it. Everything I'm talking about, it's so many ways you can break that shit down and be like, well, yeah, a negative Virgo is bad, and this, and the third. See what I'm saying? A negative Leo is bad, and this, and the third, right? You see what I'm saying? In this scenario, and this scenario. So you can understand how better to deal with shit, or just recognize what's going on so you don't be personally hurt or take too much offense, or just know what the fuck to get away from, right? Because you got to remember, everybody has these negative traits, and you also don't want to be a person who is aware of this shit and you are doing it even though you know your ass is aware. You don't want to be doing this shit. And that's just 100% honest. So now, let's go ahead and get right in. So now, I left off at Virgo yesterday, so we're going to start on Libra. So now, the positive aspect of Libra energy in and of itself is all about what? Harmony, balance, and trying to be in relationships, trying to be relatable, right? Trying to be socially understandable, right? Trying to make everybody feel accepted. Because Libra energy in and of itself is about what? Justice and balance, right? But what happens when those scales that rule over Libra start to get tipped? Guess what? That same justice and that same balance energy, you got to remember, that shit can become what? Unfairness. You see what I'm saying? Indecisiveness. You see what I'm saying? Because Libra is all about making the decision, making the compromise. But guess what? So what's going to be the opposite of that shit? Really, the opposite of Libra energy going to be more towards what Aries negative traits is too, right? I'm keeping them 100% honest. Because you got to remember, if Libra is so used to trying to socialize and come together and bring people, what's going to happen when you take all that shit and make that shit inverted? Guess what? Everything going to be upside down. So guess what? Now the Libra energy is not finna be all that. Libra's going to be selfish as hell. I want shit done my way. They're going to be very manipulative when it comes to compromise. You got to remember, they making deals that seem like it's going to benefit both of y'all up front, when the truth about it is, it's really going to be benefiting them more, or probably only in the end. You see what I'm saying? So you got to remember, and it's still an air sign, still logical communication. So they can make some shit sound really intellectual and really smart. You see what I'm saying? So you got to remember, then when it comes to harmony, they don't seek harmony, right? Either they're scared to pursue harmony out of fear of rejection. That's another thing too, because Libra energy is all about making balance. So when it's out of the way, like, damn, I want to make balance, but I'm not gonna do it. I'm just gonna leave it alone. No, Libra, you have to do that shit, right? That's what your authority governs over as far as the zodiac sign, period. So yeah, negative Libra energy, you got to remember, wanting to be so independent in relationships where it feel like it's not even a relationship anymore. Like I said, a lot of the because if you inverse Libra traits, it's going to go all the way back to Aries negative traits. As just keeping that shit 100% honest, right? So now, let's talk about, what's that? Scorpio. Now, Scorpio is my favorite zodiac sign. So Scorpio energy in and of itself At its highest, it's the phoenix. It's all about, surviving crisis events and transforming and becoming stronger than you were before. You see what I'm saying? And also being able to guide not just yourself but others, to that emotional or mental transformative finish line as well. That's what Scorpio energy is in and of itself, right? It's about diving into the occult and mysticism. But we ain't talking about all that shit. We talking about the negative traits. But so now the negative traits of a Scorpio is, you got to remember, being extremely psychologically manipulative. I mean, come on now. I always got some type of weird secret and propaganda and shit going on. You see what I'm saying? Because Scorpio energy is all about that. You see what I'm saying? Probably some dirty sexual secrets could be happening. You see what I'm saying? You got to remember, very in the dark about things, right? You know what I'm saying? Pitting sides against each other in order to get its final agenda and outcome. And Capricorn can do that same shit too. I'm not going to lie. Listen, Capricorn... Okay. Yeah, listen, Capricorn can do that same shit. I am not gonna lie. So, what y'all gotta understand is about when it comes to Scorpio, man, listen, they can definitely be very psychologically manipulative, right? I'm telling you, especially when it comes to relationships. You will be in that mode like, what? And remember, like I said, this is not just Scorpio sun, moon, or ascendant. It's all three. And it's also stellium. So if you have your moon in Scorpio, your sun in Scorpio, your ascendant, mainly your ascendant in Scorpio. Your ascendant in moon gonna be the most. Your ascendant in Scorpio though, because remember, the ascendant is the physical manifestation of whatever is in that house, right? You see what I'm saying? It's you, right? That's why the ascendant is the physical you. But go by my big 3 class and you're gonna really learn all about what this shit truly is from a Vedic astrological standpoint, right? But be careful with that Scorpio energy. But then after Scorpio, you got Sagittarius. And I'm a Sagittarius ascendant inside of Vedic astrology. So at its highest, Sagittarius is like, you know what? Philosophy, wisdom, theology. You see what I'm saying? Just higher education in general, right? You see what I'm saying? So Sagittarius is like that traveling aspect, that guru, that, I have the wisdom from the ancient texts and I'm here to, spread these philosophies and get humankind back on track type of shit. That's what that's what Sagittarius energy is in and of itself. Now that shit can go really bad because you gotta remember because Sagittarius is still a zodiac sign that rules the 9th house, and then Vedic astrology, the karka of the 9th house is Jupiter. So the 9th house is the actual true ruler of your belief system. Then it ties in with the 12th house, which is another Jupiterian house in the traditional zodiacal order. That's the 9th house Sagittarius, 12th house of Pisces. Both ruled by Jupiter. So from a traditional lens, Jupiter is the planet of wisdom and belief. So your 12th and your 9th house gonna be, like your core belief systems. So now, this is the thing about it. A fucked up Sagittarius placement, that shit can be white power, white supremacy, black power. But I'm talking about, like Mexican power only. Like to where, because it's belief system, and now it's getting revved up like my beliefs and what I believe is this, and we gotta stop them. And I'm talking about hard countering anybody that goes against what we saying. Sagittarius energy can be just like that. This can be the religious organizations mad as hell that everybody's kind of deviating from religion now. Now they want to cause some type of mass hysteria on the populace and shit like this. Sagittarius energy it can get real serious and wicked. Also being extremely flighty as well, right? Remember, Sagittarius opposite the Gemini. Both of them, all the opposite signs share a similar trait. Please understand that, right? You want to know why they share a similar trait? Because guess what? They have the same modalities. All opposite signs have the same modalities, right? The opposite, Cancer, is what? A cardinal sign. His opposite is Capricorn, a cardinal sign. So they share that cardinal nature in some type of aspect, right? But when we talk about the Sagittarius, it can be very flighty. Like, I got to get the fuck out of here. I'm telling y'all, that's real deal Sagittarius energy. Like, shit, I'm not finna deal with that. But now let's talk about Capricorn. Oh my God, Capricorn. So Capricorn energy in and of itself at the highest, like CEO boss, practical, got the world ran correctly. You see what I'm saying? But at its worst, Capricorn energy, that shit can be very serious and emotionally, sometimes heartless. It can seem very cruel because you got to remember, you looking at it from an emotional filter. They not looking at it like that. They looking at it like it is what it is. This what needs to be done. They ruled by Saturn. And this the side of Saturn that ain't playing. This the side of Saturn is logic. No, it's either this or it's that. All this other in between shit, let that go. That's stifling our progress to where we trying to go. That's what Capricorn energy is in and of itself. So in a negative trait, that shit can be taking extreme measures. You see what I'm saying? And you gotta remember. So in a negative aspect, lack of emotional empathy. Real shit. The lack of emotional empathy, lack of emotional depth, lack of even really giving a fuck about it in the first place, right? So Capricorn can be very much sometimes very self-motivated and selfish too, and in a similar way to like what Aries can be like. Listen, I understand what you're saying, but I still need this done at the end of the day. That's some Capricorn shit right there. So be careful with that. But now we talking about Aquarius energy. So now in Vedic astrology, Saturn still does rule over Aquarius. So Aquarius at its highest is about what? Humanitarianistic expression, right? Like, let's help the world. Let's save this. Let's get everything done. Let's make sure the water is good. Let's stand up for civil rights. Let's protest. Let's this. Let's pass laws, rules, and regulations that help the people more than harm the people. Let's get into scientific innovation and progress. That's what that's what Aquarius energy is high as is. What you think is going to be the opposite? I'm not worried about the collective. I'm worried about me. I'm so individual and unique and different. Fuck all of them. You see what I'm saying? Because Aquarius is still trying to be unique. It's trying to be individualistic, right? Even when it's helping people, right? So, but the thing about it is when it's off that path fully, it just become damn near completely like self-absorbed. Like they mad that people get on what they be on, even if they didn't want to start the trend. Like Aquarius will start a trend, then be mad and see everybody on it and be like, I ain't on that no more, because everybody on that. I'm like, you the one that made the shit. But Aquarius energy, another thing, it can be very stubborn. It can be very rude. And they can be very sarcastic. Gemini energy can too. But Aquarius energy can be sarcastic to the point where it's like they trying to make you feel dumb about what you talking about. You know what I'm talking about? Like that shit for real. A couple of zodiac signs do that too. But Aquarius, from what I've seen, people in Vedic astrology with strong Aquarius, they can be really good at doing that shit. Because Aquarius is the height of the air signs, the height of intelligence. It's the height of air sign. It's the height of intelligence. So we can't even sit there and say, well, yeah, it is. You gotta remember the last signs are the height of those signs, right? That's why it's from a beginning to the end. Now I don't want to hear y'all gonna come and well, that don't mean you better than. I'm like, just shut up with that stupid shit. But yes, Aquarius energy in and of itself, you gotta remember they can be rebellious without a cause too. Very rebellious, very opinionated and stubborn and without a cause. So you got to remember these type of people that you tell them, hey, I think you should do this. Or if you telling them something that make complete logical sense, they going to be like, okay, I heard what you said. It all makes sense. But I think we should do it like this. Completely flip everything your ass said around. You like, what the hell? And the Aquarius like, you don't get it. Then now y'all arguing, now y'all into it and shit. Classic, I'm talking about classic Aquarius shit. So, let me think. I'm trying to think. Cause we're gonna go on to Pisces, yeah. So Pisces energy in and of itself, I'm a Pisces moon too, y'all, in Vedic astrology and tropical astrology. So now when you go to Pisces energy in and of itself, the highest aspect is, you know what I'm talking about, like caring for humanity too. Right? I'm gonna keep it a buck, right? Because you gotta remember Pisces rules the natural 12th house of what? Like hospitals and asylums. You see what I'm saying? And you know what I'm talking about, like monasteries and shit like that. Anywhere where people go and get isolated to get some type of healing, whether it's from the spiritual realm, God, or like medicine and shit like that. So Pisces is very much the high healer, the highest of all healing signs. Don't the 12th house of his original rulership rule over the hospitals you go to get the surgeries that Scorpio give you? To real shit. What are asylums and psych wards and shit? Ain't that some Cancer energy? The mind and emotional instability got you out here doing all type of... All that shit go to Pisces to get corrected, right? So Pisces is like the ultimate healer in and of itself, right? But thing about it is, from a more negative aspect, is Pisces can delve into those fantasies, right? That naivety, that gullibility, right? Even Libra in the negative traits can delve into that gullibility sometimes. You know what I'm talking about? But the thing about it is that that fantasy aspect of Pisces can have them doing and thinking all type of shit that really ain't there, and shit they really need to sit their ass down and stop even thinking and pondering about, right? So being too much into the fantasy land to where they can't operate correctly in real life in real time. And that's honestly like their biggest issue, right? Sometimes they want to self-isolate because they feel like nobody understand them. Even Aquarius be doing that shit too. Nobody understand me. Y'all listen, a lot of people understand y'all. A lot of y'all problems ain't that difficult. If you ain't going through the most worst shit on earth, your problems can be understood. Best believe that shit. Real talk. But other than that, but yes, y'all, so listen. Another thing too, negative trait with Pisces is escapism. And sometimes alcoholism. So you got to remember, like, because Pisces is still a zodiac sign, the real 12th house can be like substance abuse too. I'm keeping that shit, keeping it honest. Substance abuse too. This strong possibility it can have some substance abuse with that, and escaping from situations that they need to be fully attended to and aware to. So they can be, a lot of times Pisces energy can try to escape consequences for shit like that. You know what I'm talking about? Not lack accountability and blame all they shortcomings on everything in the world. Now remember, like I said, you can be a Pisces person that don't do none of that shit, but you want to know why? Because you have a whole birth chart in and of itself. What I'm doing with these videos is giving you like the archetypical expression of what each zodiac sign individual means from the traits that they do have, right? Every zodiac sign has a trait. And it has a higher vibration of that trait and a lower vibration of that trait. And I'm just discussing the more lower aspects of it. So yes, y'all listen. But if you want your birth chart and shit read, y'all already know where to come and holler at me, and I'm going to hook y'all ass up. On all my social media platforms, go on my website, flamingastraology.com or whatever, and look at all my shit. And man, listen, you will learn a whole bunch. You can also buy my classes. But until then, I will holler at y'all ass later, man. Peace.